throttle locks. The bobber doesn't have any kind of cruise control on it. Not a huge deal. It's kind of like a bar hopper bike. You can make longer rides on it, but usually people don't. But even when you're riding for a few hours, throttle hand gets a little tired. It'd be nice to have a throttle lock or some kind of cruise control device to just stretch out your hand a little bit while you're riding. So today, I'm going to take a look at 2 throttle locks that I purchased off of Amazon. One of them is like an Amazon cheapie, I guess. I think it was like 10 or 15 bucks, something like that. The other one is the Atlas throttle lock. So I'm going to take a look at both of those. I'm going to install both of them on my bike. We're going to take a look at the install, look at how it works. I'm going to take a ride and see how easy it is to use while you're riding, because that's when you're going to use it. And then I'm going to kind of come to my own conclusions of which one I want to keep. I bought both of them. This is not a sponsored video. So I'll be keeping both of them as a matter of which one I want to keep on this bike. So let me let's take a look at the bench and I'll show you what I've got. Okay, so these are the 2 throttle locks that I purchased. This one, I'll leave a link to where I got it. Very simplistic. It goes on your grip, and then you move it to rest against your lever, and then that's supposed to keep your throttle where you put it. It comes with 2 of these rubber bands that go on your grips. So these are pretty much toolless, except I have to use tools because I've got bar end mirrors. I need to take those off in order to slide this onto the grip. The other one we're going to look at is Atlas throttle lock, and this one a little bit more involved. I don't think it's a huge deal installing this, but there is a Allen screw involved, Allen wrenches in there, and the screw, so looks to be everything we need. I'm going to put both these on and test them out. So let's start off with this one here, and let me get that one going, and I'll join you back. Okay, so we're going to install this, and what we're going to do is, first thing we need to do is get the bar end mirror off. I've already loosened it up ahead of time. Alright, so the next step is you want to take the rubber band. Well, it's not a rubber band per se, but it's a band made of rubber. So we'll just go with that. Just stretch that evenly on your grip. So what that's going to do is make a contact patch here for this thing to slide and then grip to, I guess. You want to slide it from the standpoint of you want to be able to move this around, but then you want to grip it when you get the throttle where it needs to be. So this is a very simple design. Whole idea is it moves with your throttle, and what you're going to want to do while you're riding it is, it's got a little thumb position here, so the trick is to move your throttle and then move this at the same time, and then it's supposed to hold your throttle in place. So that's the concept. Now off the bat, one thing that is a little iffy on this one is that just by the design of it, it is hitting my lever, and that's just by design. That's what it's supposed to do. So it works, and I've got stock levers on here. They're silver, not a big deal, but it does mar the lever up a little bit. And I know this because I've been using this one for a while. So I did just reinstall it on here just for the sake of this video, because I wanted to see the difference between the two, but I'm going to show you how easy it is to install. Again, if I didn't have the bar end mirrors, this would have been a toolless install, and pretty easy. So you just put it around there, tighten this screw, and that's it. So what I'm going to do now, I'll put my bar end mirror back on here and get my element with the GoPro, and we'll take a ride with this, and I'll show you how easy it is to use, and we'll also kind of talk about you know, the ease of use while you're riding it, and also how good it works. All right. Okay, so the whole concept with this one is obviously you get the throttle where you want it, and then just try to rotate this, and it is working, so that was pretty easy. And then I've got a red light coming up, so I just roll off the throttle and it forces it back to where it should be. So it's effective, it works. Let's do it again. Moving it with my thumb now. I'm gonna get into position, and now I'm no hands. So the one thing I do notice is it moves a little bit. So I kind of move it in place and then maybe adjust it, tighten it a little bit so it doesn't move. I got no hands. Alright, so let's get back to the messy garage and we'll get the other one on and see how that one works. Alright, so the other throttle lock is off and we're going to move on to the Atlas throttle lock. This one here. So what the instructions say and what they give you is they give you 3 different sizes of I guess just plastic rubber here, and it's got an adhesive backing on it, and that'll make sense in a second. So what you want to do is you want to take each one. There's the large one, medium, and a real skinny small one, and you want to put the throttle lock where you're going to have it, and then try to slide these pieces on here, because this is how the mechanism works. So you see there's a little flap right here, you got a couple buttons. When you push the button on the top, the flap sticks out. When you push it bottom, flap goes in. So the whole concept of this is it's going to put some friction between your throttle body, or your throttle tube, sorry, and the housing. So what they're saying to do is you want to put this in place where you're going to have it and try to slide the largest one first in there. And this is a really tight squeeze. That's not going to work. So what it's going to end up doing is you're going to have too much friction on the throttle without even trying to push this button. So you're not going to be able to push the button, and your throttle's going to stick in position when you don't want it. So you're going to have kind of like involuntary throttle lock. So I'm going to take the medium sized one. So I'm going to try next. I've got it held up there. I'm just going to slide it in, and I can get that in there, and I've got plenty of room. If I press the top button, it's actually going against the throttle body. It's pretty good in there. Actually, I can let go of the whole thing and it holds itself up. So what that tells me is I'm going to go with the medium sized one. I'm going to take the backing off this plastic, put it on this little square here. They give you an alcohol swab, so I'm going to wipe that off real quick, apply this, and then I'll come back and we'll finish installing this. We've got the plastic piece applied. I rubbed some alcohol on it, watched it and waited for it to totally dissipate before I put that on there. So what you're going to do, what we're going to do is we're going to put this under here where we want it, and we're going to take this piece, the piece got a little, I don't know, a little point on it, and we're going to put that in here, and then we're going to clip it down like some handcuffs for all you cops and then perverts that know what handcuffs are, how they work. So that's what we're going to do, and then once we get that done, we are going to then put a screw in here to hold it in place. So apparently before you ratchet it down, you're going to want to put the screw in there. Okay, so we're going to put the point in here. We're going to get it in place where we want it. Start to get it to click in place. We've got a screw and an Allen key that we're going to put in place to hold this side in. Alright, so I think the way to do this is to loosen this up a little bit. Get the ratchet to push on there as much as possible. And then tighten it up with the Torx bit. Alright, now it's starting to get tighter. Okay, put it in place where I want it. Not a fan of the screw, so I wish I would have done an Allen head instead. Okay, so it doesn't affect the throttle, which is good. But pull the throttle down, push the button. It does hold the throttle. So, alright. I might want to adjust where that's sitting actually, but I'll take it for a ride and we'll see how that one works compared to the other. Alright, here we are with the Atlas throttle lock. Up to speed where we want to be. Then just push the button. Works like a champ actually. So from an ease of use, the button is a whole lot easier for sure. I mean, not the other one's not hard. Pretty easy to use also. Both of them are. I think I'm going to have a preference for this one only because it doesn't touch the levers, and I've got some levers that I'm going to be changing out for these stock ones, so that's going to be a That's gonna be among the big reasons, I think. Other one being this one just it looks a little cleaner. I don't really use them all that often, but when I do, the other one sometimes slides. This one seems to, at least so far, I don't know, maybe long term it may suck even worse than the other one, but right now I'm liking it. Pretty easy to use. All right, let's head back to the messy garage. I'll try to wrap this video up, and it's getting dark and I've got other stuff to do. So in the end, I went with the Atlas throttle lock. It's a cleaner look. There's nothing hanging up here. And then the other thing is, one of the things I'm going to be doing here shortly is putting new levers on this. And it hit the lever right here, and it's kind of a pain in the butt. Mars it up a little bit. Not a big deal on a silver lever, but when you're talking about an anodized lever that's going to be black, it would mar that up, and I just didn't want to go that route. So that's one of the main reasons. That, and I think it's just a cleaner look. So, alright, let me know in the comments below what you're looking for in a throttle lock. If you've had these, what your thoughts are on each. And thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Bye. You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go. Click on some other videos, but go home.